Last time on the Great Ace Attorney 2.
So, this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it?
Indeed. And forearmed with that knowledge, does it not strike you there is another among the four who subsequently became a visiting student? In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts, detailing an assassin exchange.
So, to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target.
Don't forget that the British assassin, at least, escaped conviction, thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. So, the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels.
On what grounds is Kazuma Asogi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor?
I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart, requesting the judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day.
Oh, aye. Should we rob a bank or something and be like, hang on, Gov.
If you could just delay the judgment by a day, I'd be very grateful.
My whole life for the last 10 days has been leading
Days.
up. Days? 10 days!
My whole life.
Wow, this happened really quick.
Kazuma's like, they got me out of my clone sleeve for this. The last 10 days have been hell. I've been remembering everything that happened in the last 10 years.
So you would run from all this?
I beg your pardon?
This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder, a case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now.
And you, Judge Jigoku, are at the heart of both cases. The defense has evidence to prove it. This is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. Oh, you little...
Oh no!
Oh,
no!
Where did you get that? In Tokyo, from your office. It's true that Kazuma Asogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour. So you admit it then? There really was an assassin exchange arrangement between Britain and Japan. If you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain.
He's sitting right above me.
Just slowly follow my eyes. Going up, I'm not obliged to divulge that information.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Disillusion Plays The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices.
Yeah! I'm slightly cold, Sarah.
She's not cold anymore.
A little bit.
Not.
And I'm Neck Pain Taylor.
Oh, yes.
I'm not doing anything to the avatar for that. Like, what even, like...
Little neck brace.
We're at the age where we just turn over in bed and everything hurts, so...
Yes. The ancient age.
Yes.
I feel like Mr. Chuff and Mr. Garadeb over here.
The ancient age of 20.
Oh, Christ.
Yes, and threw out my shoulder in the wall, you know.
Now I threw out my shoulder opening the cupboard in the kitchen to get a snack.
Oh, dear me. Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yes, hello everybody. We are about to jump in, but just before we do, don't forget that if you enjoy what we do, why don't you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell.
Do it.
So you get notified of our future stuff, and you could also consider watching some of our older stuff if you want to help us reach other people via the old algorithm. If you want to carefully massage the YouTube algorithm. Not in a sensual way! In a nice, caring way.
Caress it gently.
I could use a nice, caring massage on my shoulder.
Wait, I thought it was your neck.
I was going to say, yeah, I thought...
Well, neck, shoulder. I mean, they're connected.
Okay, yeah, he's just gonna name body parts till he gets lower and lower.
Sarah, we are about what is it like? We're
2
like
minutes
about
in.
A minute in.
Look, you know it's gonna happen. I just might as well get it out the way now.
Come on, Taylor needs to regulate himself so that he can he can proceed to voice not Eugen, the other one. Seishiro. Every time my brain just goes, it's because I'm used to you going, Eugen. And it's like, no, it's Seishiro.
That would be more of this voice if I were to do Professor Makotoba. Hello there.
See, he sounds like the pawnbroker.
The porn broker?
The pawn
Windybank.
broker. Mr. Windybank or the other gentleman from...
Price in
Yes.
Fresolaton. Yeah.
The Assassin Exchange.
Yes.
I guess we've already gone through this. So do we want to read it again then?
Yeah, because it's a new video. Like, Taylor, we do this.
It's true that Kazuma Osogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin at all times. If there'd been a shot fired, the crewman would have heard it. So clearly, I can't be involved.
Right, and we... No,
Yeah.
you. Go.
I'm presuming you've remembered the thing about the evacuation notice that was crumpled up in the bin.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That and also the intercom thing, whatever it's called, the big
they
sort of...
bunged it up, hadn't they? Yeah, the speaker thing. Yeah.
The trumpet end, whatever you call it.
Trumpet
I don't know. It's like a
not
big...
the bell end.
Whoa!
Taylor, please, work with me here.
Hold it! It wouldn't be the bell end. It was the trumpet end. Because it's not a
that
bell.
was-
It's a trumpet.
That was poorly timed, wasn't it? Taylor's talking about bell end, and then he said, "Hold it."
Please. Will someone save me? Like, can someone please...
Send it out in SOS. Send it out in SOS to the world.
Can somebody salvage this episode?
I wanna die.
Yeah. Caught in a slide.
Oh my God.
Hey! A year ago, when Kazuma was still in Japan then.
Correct. It was at the examination center for applicants for the study tour that I approached him, and I said, "Hey there, you look like someone who would kill somebody for money."
What, do I have that kind of face?
Absolutely.
Oh no.
Well,
no,
it's
who
more
it is.
that you have a chip on your shoulder the size of Mount Rushmore.
Why, thank you. I'll never forget it. I remember exactly what you said.
Yeah, we just
Hey
recounted it
kid,
just
wanna
now.
kill somebody?
Wow! Just like that.
My God.
Just like that. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's what I bring up in casual conversation over
So
dinner.
I wasn't even that far off then.
No.
You just came out and asked me forthright if I'd consider traveling to Britain on an assassination mission. Surely not. I thought it was a joke at first, of course. But then it was made clear to me that if I didn't accept, I wouldn't be considered for the study tour. Oh, yes, blackmail.
So you agreed to it just for that? I mean, I know how much you wanted to study in England, but assassination?
Crikey.
The Empire of Japan had accepted a proposal from the British Empire at the time. An agreement to send a student from each country to the others to deepen cultural understanding and friendship and also get rid of political dissidence.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
yeah,
I'm like, this doesn't sound very friendly.
absolutely not under some sort of like weird guise.
But behind the scenes, the chosen students were to be given assassination missions.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Wow.
I had no choice but to accept the proposal that originated from my British counterpart.
Why? Why didn't you expose the plot there and then?
Because then the game would be over.
Right, shut up now before you give me away.
Britain acknowledges no part in these alleged misbegotten dealings. I advise you to not make spurious allegations, Foreign Minister Jigoku.
As a witness, I am bound to tell the truth, my lord.
Just because you speak more slowly doesn't make you any more threatening to me. The master
Come down
of
here
time.
and say that.
The master of time.
In the blue corner, we have Jigoku. I know who my money's on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah.
I hope we get to see an animated fight sequence between the
Oh
two
my
of them.
god.
Just something, yeah. I am interested.
Anyway, I picked Asogi and explained the details of the plan to him. The target was Inspector T. Grouse. Hold it!
Wait a minute, did Jigoku say that?
Hold it!
There we go.
Why Kazuma? Why did you pick him as the assassin?
He's got a pretty face.
He looked bored enough. He looked like he needed. He looked like he needed some direction.
Some excitement in his life.
He was the most capable of all the applicants, and, in addition,
The most gullible.
I knew his desire to travel to Britain was, very strong. Very strong.
It's just like whispered that last bit there. I know
No,
he was.
it's slightly outside of
like-
my vocal range, so I'm struggling a little
No,
bit.
I guess you're doing pretty good. I just love that. Just Britain was very strong, like his biceps, so strong.
Not as strong as mine, though.
They
of
remind.
course.
I was gonna say they remind me of me.
Remind me of me.
In fact, it was almost more than a desire. It was his whole purpose in life.
How's that?
Yes, as his best friend, I can certainly attest to that. The way he threw himself into his studies, the way he pursued becoming qualified as a lawyer. It was all ultimately for that one single goal of being accepted on a study tour to Britain.
And of course, we know the reason behind that. He was determined to find out for himself the truth about his father, Genshin Asogi.
There's nothing I wouldn't have done to get here. Be that agreeing to assume the role of an assassin, or betraying people's trust.
Ouch!
Ish.
Well, you certainly did a fine job of betraying mine, Asogi.
But why was Inspector Gregson the target?
I have no idea. Those were the orders from Britain. I was in no position to question them.
You have no idea? Really? I find that hard to believe.
Oh, do you?
Judge Jigoku was once a visiting student here in Britain himself, of course. Perhaps he has some connection with Inspector Gregson from that time.
The defense really ought to catch up.
With what?
With the fact that the assassin exchange has absolutely nothing to do with the case under scrutiny here.
So the one thing that we know for sure is that the assassin exchange has something to do with the case under scrutiny here.
Yep.
Yes, I've already admitted to recruiting Asogi.
Hold it! I presume you're referring to the incident that occurred during Kazuma's passage to Britain in January? January? January?
It's January.
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 It isn't January, Taylor.
January.
I know it isn't.
I mean, are you sure?
The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in steamship history.
I continue to love the fact that, like, there is a bit where he's scraped on the floor that's obviously part of the image that's like that sort of browny colour, and then the writing is in a different colour.
I say it ran out of ink.
Like, it's obviously supposed to be part of the same bit, but it's just weird that they used a different colour.
They ran out of ink at that
Feels like an
point.
oversight to me.
Word arrived at the ministry some 2 weeks after the ship's departure from our shores. The visiting student had been killed, but his body had somehow gone missing in Hong Kong. The news was wired to me from a detective I'd placed on the ship to accompany the assassin.
Obviously, Kazuma didn't actually die at all. Rumors of his demise were greatly exaggerated. But he did lose his memory, including all details about his special mission.
Did you not consider dispatching another assassin at that point?
How many assassins do you think we have lying around?
They don't grow on trees, you know.
I presumed with the sort of noble race that the Japanese claimed itself to be, that there'd be millions of you trained to be warriors, honestly.
You've watched far too much anime. That wasn't possible, simply because that black-clad young student over there had already put himself forward as Asogi's replacement.
Oh no, he got in the way.
Oh no.
And there was no way to stop him from reaching Britain.
Oh no, was I supposed to assassinate somebody?
Yes!
Oh, I didn't get that.
My hands were completely tied.
So Mr. Sholmes' strategy worked perfectly.
He predicted everything that would happen. But he's normally so incompetent!
Turns out he's actually really great after all.
Surprise! Surprise, mother truckers!
Months later, my memory returned. But I'd never intended to go through with the assassination mission anyway. My god, I actually managed to say it. Holy crap.
What? Huh? What?
I actually managed to say assassination mission without fluffing it up.
Oh!
Usually I struggle because I am Kazuma.
A saturation suspicion.
Assassination mission.
An assassination mission to the judiciary.
So you were playing me right from the outset, were you? Is that it?
I'd sooner be guilty of that crime than of taking someone else's life. I was prepared to do whatever I had to do in order to get myself here to Britain.
This line of questioning has gone on long enough.
It's getting dangerously close to implicating me.
All the court should be concerned about in the testimony given by this witness are details relating to his relationship with Inspector Gregson and the victim's murder.
In that case, as I've already made perfectly clear, I had no connection to the man or his death.
And you have some means of substantiating this plea.
I was with your mother that night.
Oh!
She's dead, Jim.
Oh.
Let me jig.
She's
Hold
dead,
it.
Jig.
Outside your cabin in the first-class area of the SS Grouse, you mean?
Yes, that's right. No, not least because there was a murder of a student passenger earlier in the year, I imagine. The liner operators have taken to posting a crewman outside every first-class cabin door. You can't look anywhere without seeing seamen all over the place. Seamen on each door. Seamen all over the hallway. Seamen on the stairs.
Taylor, are you quoting Paul and Storm right now?
Who?
Oh, I really wish you were.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good. There's a song
There is a song.
relating to seamen. It's funny.
The Seamen, by the way.
Yeah, not seamen.
No, it
as
was
in
more of a Matthew Barry.
Ah.
I could confirm the presence of the crewman guard myself.
You mean the seamen? You saw the seamen yourself?
No, the crewman. How immature.
What do you mean?
Because I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk that night. I witnessed it with my own eyes. There was a I'm
his-
so sad we missed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I have to say, I think we should apologize
Yeah, we should.
to everyone that we missed that his name was Chicken.
Chicken
Chicken
stroganoff.
Stroganoff. I'm just,
I mean, we got Biff Stroganoff, got Beef Stroganoff, his brother, but yeah, we completely missed that one, and we're sorry.
Yeah, I'm honestly ashamed.
Yeah, me too.
You know, when you grow up in very poor part of world without much food, mother just tends to name you after things she wish she could eat.
Oh. There was a
You know, if she had named us after what we could actually eat, it would be dust stroganoff and crust of bread stroganoff.
Crust of bread.
Crumb Stroganoff.
Crumb stroganoff.
Crumb
I mean, that actually doesn't sound that weird, honestly.
No. There was
Like
a
Victor Crumb.
That's true, yeah, Victor Crumb. There was a well-built crewman standing guard directly in front of the door to the witness's cabin.
Well built in that he's got like massive arms and then really thin legs.
He skipped leg day.
He did skip leg day.
At that particular time, of course, I'd gone to the ship's dining room for dinner.
He was hungry.
The inspector and I asked the crewman to allow us into the cabin while we waited for Judge Jigoku's return.
I suppose Inspector Gregson was there in his capacity as the Reaper. He was intending to take the witness's life.
Exactly. As I've said numerous times now, I had no intention of killing anyone.
So the crewman let 2 potential assassins into the cabin he was supposed to be guarding. Not the most convincing of sentries, really.
In truth, those were my thoughts too. But anyway, I stayed to talk with Inspector Gregson for a short while. And when I left him there and made my way off the ship alone... Oh, and then I made him... Yeah. And then I left him there and made my way off the ship alone.
Alive, by the way.
Yes. Walking, talking, breathing.
Was the guard still at the door when you went?
Yes. He glared at me as I walked past.
You see, that proves it.
So I think we might just be able to present the log on that statement as an objezione.
Let's have a look. Yeah, we've obviously got the pocket watch thing.
Was it this evacuation drill one? Is this the one?
10 p.m.
Yes.
Drill will take 20 minutes. Oh, but when did he leave, though?
And he did just say that the crewman was already back. Like I said,
Actually, no, it should be on that statement. It wasn't at all times.
Yeah, it wasn't because it was that.
Objection!
Yes, as the court has heard, there was a seaman posted outside Judge Jigoku's cabin. However, we can be sure that, contrary to the witness's claim, the guard wasn't there at all times.
What?
I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st.
What? Where did you get that?
Oh, looks like you got rumbled, boy.
Just remember, there's always something good in the wastebasket. It's evidence gathered by Mr. Herlock Sholmes!
My dear fellow, you don't have to shout. My poor ears.
By Mr. Herlock Sholmes. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember.
Herlock Sholmes again!
According to this itinerary.
Oopsie.
Oops.
Sorry.
According to this itinerary, armband. After leaving the port of Dunkirk, I could...
Mr. Naruhodo, are you quite all right? Oh dear. He's lost the ability to talk.
After leaving the port of Dunkirk at exactly 10 p.m. and for a period of 20 minutes, all seamen of the SS Grouse were to gather on deck for an evacuation drill. To make sure the deck was absolutely covered with seamen.
No, God!
For God's sake.
No, God!
From the
please,
aft
no,
to the stern,
no,
seamen everywhere.
No!
Seaman as
See,
far as the eye can
this is
see.
where Taylor's embellishing the fact that like he isn't in the same room as us. So I can't clap him around the back of the head.
It's a seaman, you know? A person who works on a boat at sea?
We know, Taylor. We know
I
what
feel
you're
like you're
doing.
implying that I'm saying something else.
Yeah.
Sarah just finds seamen really funny, I guess. I don't know why. I mean, there's nothing funny about a nautical career, Sarah. That's very important.
I'm sorry, Taylor.
Seamen are very important.
Stop
They
it.
are.
For
Get some
the
Justice
for the
for-
economy.
Justice
Yeah.
for seamen, yeah.
I'm sorry, I should not laugh.
Laugh. Laugh.
Laugh.
Stop laughing.
Laughy, will ya?
Do you know how many seamen are washed away by water each year, Sarah?
Oh my god.
No?
Some seamen just vanish, never to be seen again.
Oh, that's tragic. I'm sorry. It's very, very tragic. Oh boy. That's it. That train of thought has gone. Casimir. All crewmen were away from their posts.
And during that 20-minute interval, of course, any gunshots emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one.
Boom.
Oh.
In summary, Judge Jigoku, you had ample opportunity to commit the crime.
Woo! Go, Rudo. Go, Rudo. Oh.
Oh.
Objection! A 20-minute window of opportunity? Well, that's an excellent find, Rionosuke.
But.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Ah, there we go. I knew there'd be something. I knew there'd be a but. But it amounts to nothing.
Why?
Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that no incident occurred in his cabin. And that's where the bullet hole comes in.
said it.
No, that's where the bullet hole will come in if we've got that. Or we have got the bit of stopwatch. So he was there, something happened. We haven't got that. We haven't got that, but we've got that piece of pocket watch, so I guess that must come in at some point.
Found it in his cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have some decisive evidence that can show his testimony to be false. Your accusation is nothing more than conjecture.
Very true. Well, counsel.
Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Jigoku's cabin that night. I'm certain of it. Because the defense has the evidence to prove it. We do, did we, Mr. Sato? I think so.
I mean, you should know, Mr. Naruhodo. You have the court record.
You will present the evidence for the defense at once, counsel. What proof do you have that the victim's life was taken in Jigoku's cabin on the 31st of October? I think it has
Got
to
to
be
be the
this.
small component.
Because it's something that they made a big point of saying that Gregson really loved that pocket watch and he would like wind it all the time.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if he was alive, he would be aware of the fact that it was missing and would have gone back for it. So
Take that! Judge Jigoku, this was found in your cabin yesterday.
well done, Sarah. What is that? The crown of a pocket watch? Which obviously he'd be very upset
Yeah, he
about.
would. Who could do such a blasphemous thing?
A pocket watch?
It's disgraceful.
And if you will observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we note he treasured, is missing precisely that part.
It can't be.
Oh, but it can! Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindle protruding from the victim's watch. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Jigoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch almost certainly broke there. In other words, the victim was killed on the 31st during the 20-minute evacuation drill in the cabin occupied by you, Judge Jigoku.
Oh, busted! Uh-oh.
Well, you're razor sharp, aren't you, young murderer?
Oh,
Beg pardon?
sorry. Objection! Expertly maneuvered, Rionosuke.
Oh, good. You're about to tell me how it doesn't matter again, aren't you?
Is it the time? Because the time on the thing's 10 p.m., but his watch is 5. Is that going to come into it? Is that going to be a thing?
Well remembered, Sarah.
But hold up. But the little deploying Dewberry, the police officer with the rubbed head, that also winds the watch. Right?
Giving it a it had.
So like if he was able to wind it using that, then it doesn't mean that the watch.
I can't remember. Was that what it was, or was it a key? Was it a key for the desk?
No.
No.
I thought it was. It went to.
No, it goes on the bottom of the pocket watch.
Check the pocket. Yeah, I think it does. I thought it would have been one for the. Yeah.
Huh.
Can you just click on that little on the hole?
Which one?
The
bottom hole.
The bottom hole.
So this is where the little policeman figurine's key goes in to wind the watch. Winding it up every single day for 10 years without fail. So he wouldn't need the crown to wind it up necessarily.
So was the crown was the crown for changing the time then, perhaps?
The crown must have been for changing the time, yeah.
Somebody changed the time to throw them off. Remind of the past, lest you forget. Yes, I've got a feeling something's going to come in about this in a minute.
Well, it has to. Okay.
Right, allow me to pee on your parade, Rhinos, okay?
Consider your bonfire peed on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How rude.
It's all right. In this game, I can bring up the dialogue history.
And your argument sounds entirely plausible. At first.
Oh, bother.
But rather like this pocket watch. It's full of cracks.
Oh, the sinister strings return. Poor little defense boy.
What?
And I believe Judge Jigoku feels the same way.
I was wrong to acquit you earlier in the year.
Oh, I see why I called him Little Murderer now. It's all right. I've realised.
Sorry? If I'd known that it would result in anyone having to listen to this drivel,
Oof.
I would have declared you guilty just to spare the
Wow.
world your ridiculous bombast.
That's not very nice.
Ah!
I think it's clear that the witness will have to give further testimony.
When you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night, you'll notice the pitfall into which you've stumbled.
Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin, albeit the fact that it's frightful that you would do such a thing, means that you acknowledge he was there, I presume?
Yes, I do.
Very well, then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony after you've apologized to the damage you've caused to the pocket watch. To the watch. About what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of the 31st of October.
Of course. As a man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice.
Just slightly, maybe bending the laws a little bit. Bending the rules.
I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there. I'm sorry, a mustachioed Scotsman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me. I soon took care of him with an Ippon sail throw, though. He couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder.
He did a Jigoku takedown.
Yes.
The inspector was clearly killed, having returned to Britain, because his body was found in London.
Now, do we have anything about the refrigerator on the ship?
No, it was only said.
Yeah.
What's the
Is that-
tele- no, that's the
Because
telegram.
that's the thing, isn't it? telegram from... Yeah, that was just
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Because we definitely...
Yeah, we've got nothing about the bullet hole in the wall. We haven't got anything about the refrigeration system. It was just unless we're going to.
Other than that, the autopsy report does say that the cause of death was indeterminate.
Yeah, like time of death. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Evidence
Yes,
suggests
measures to
yeah.
disguise the time of death. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just word of mouth from.
Oh no, that autopsy report can't be right. Pull that up again. The nationality's wrong.
Taylor.
We're gonna need editing Pete to correct that.
Bonk. Just hit the mic stand. Sorry.
The inspector was clearly... Oh, I've already read this line.
Oh.
I'm just repeating myself
Sorry.
now.
That's why. Sorry, if I'd have known, I'd have. Silly me. So how did you say it? How did you choose to say it? You said like soe.
Ipon seoi or seo seoi.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Let's see. Ipon seoi. Ipon seoi. Ipon seoi. Yep.
Seoi.
Ipon.
Ipon seoi.
A common jiu-jitsu martial arts technique in my country. I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavily for his watch to take. If I had used more than 10% of my power, the ship would have cracked in half.
So, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh, we're back onto full names.
Yeah. I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you?
What?
You
What?
The fact the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin in no way proves that the victim's murder took place there.
I've no doubt the inspector intended to kill me.
And then, like, yes.
But he should have brought more men if that was his aim.
Strongheart once again pointing to the in-court orchestra. So like, up, come on, the strings.
Everybody, let's give a round of applause to the Supreme Courthouse Opera. Not opera.
Orchestra.
Band? Strings?
Orchestra.
The London Philharmonic Orchestra.
Well, I mean, I suppose.
But he didn't manage to pull the trigger.
The London Old Bailey Orchestra.
Yeah.
Old Bailey, that's what it's called.
Yeah. I remembered something.
Yes, because he was merely the tactician, not the Reaper's hand of death.
Well, the testimony appears to make perfect sense as far as I can tell.
Let me express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord.
And so I was like, could you maybe not do that, please?
But if this testimony holds, Judge Jigoku will be deemed to have had no involvement in the case.
Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time here on a cross-examination. Honestly, I feel that all that would do is allow you to potentially turn things around again, and if there's one thing I want to do, it's end this quickly with a guilty verdict.
Oh.
Honestly, isn't it just embarrassing?
Sorry, my lord. The defense has a right to cross-examine, and I don't intend to squander that.
Ugh.
You're an embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beaten.
In that case, proceed, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh.
For God's sake.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, hello there. Is that wife? Sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it home for dinner.
Mrs. Strongheart, I'm sorry, my love.
Mrs. Strongheart, I'm afraid we're not going to be able to have that nice lunch we'd arranged. No.
Mrs. Strongheart is just looks like Mr. Strongheart, but she has longer hair. It's just the same face.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So let's see. I guess, are we pressing everything again?
I guess so.
Taylor, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Iponseo. Okay.
Hold it! Because the so-called seaman posted at your cabin door had just let your killer pass, you mean?
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day
God.
is moving.
Apparently, Gregson told the crewman he was Apparently, Gregson told the seaman he was a police inspector. Which was the truth, of course.
He wouldn't have had his identification with him, though.
He had his trench coat and mustache, not to mention the bag of chips. I imagine the seaman was convinced.
Yes, holding a bag of fish and chips determines if you're a policeman or not.
But the man accompanying him would have had two sword.
Honestly,
Sword.
I am missing my lunch for this.
Two swords slung around his waist.
He would have had 2 swords.
Two sword.
God. You mean me?
No, the other gentleman with 2 sword.
Who's that then? I'd like to meet him.
Are we talking? Hang on a minute. Are we talking about weapons? Or are we talking about? Is this like a rival to Miss Two Swords? Like to Miss Two Spells? Sorry, a rival to Miss Two Spells.
Well, I mean, they got the description wrong. I have 3, so if you know what I mean.
No, I don't think I do. Anyway,
Who else?
where were we?
Yes, that's true. You would have hoped the sight of a few swords might have set off alarm bells in the guard's head.
The point is, I left the cabin before its occupant returned, and I immediately disembarked the ship. I ran out of breath.
Disembark the ship.
I ran out of breath, okay?
It's okay.
Certainly. All I can tell you is that only the inspector was waiting for me when I arrived back at my cabin.
And you entered without any inkling of suspicion?
That's right. None whatsoever.
A
Hold it! Obviously, you're talking about Inspector Gregson, except you said Englishman, not Scotsman.
So he's obviously talking about someone else.
Yes, though at the time I didn't know the man's name. And there was no time for introductions. I value my life over manners.
By which you mean that the inspector was there to assassinate you, I suppose.
Foolish, really.
That was certainly the impression given by the gun pointing in my direction. But I've never seen the muzzle of a revolver shake about so much in all my life. Anyone would think the man had never shot somebody before.
Revolver.
Revolver.
Do you just like saying revolver?
No.
Revolver.
What's the pin on the bottom?
So yeah, we do.
Is it a real gun?
So this is the type of revolver that's standard issue for members of the judiciary.
No, Taylor, it's revolver.
Revolver.
You've got to have the growler.
The growl.
Revolver.
Yes.
Yes. But when I asked about where the records are kept about who they are issued to.
Issued.
See, I wasn't gonna point it out. You now say I was gonna be grumpy with you.
Oh, no.
You ruined it.
Sarah, I mean, I've already stumbled over myself twice already this episode.
I get more angry with myself, so it's
The more time she stumbles over words, the more frustrated she gets, and so like.
You just have to understand that this happens
But the thing is, Taylor, is that's
Mr.
one of the times where Sarah made a mistake, and you're reminding her. That's not helpful.
It's okay. It's okay. I have accepted my fate. It's fine.
See, the thing is, if they wanted perfect voice acting, they certainly wouldn't tune into us. Of all people!
No, that's true.
No, I suppose
it's
not.
true.
I was told that for the past 5 years they've been engraved with a unique serial number.
Oh, this one says 42069. Nice.
Does it?
Oh,
are you
sorry.
going to-
I was supposed to say
Oh,
nice.
sorry.
Sorry, we left him hanging. Sorry, Taylor.
Oh, wow.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I'm used to Pete ruining my jokes, but Sarah, I figured you would be more supportive.
I mean, after what, after you already made her feel bad, I think,
No, he hasn't made me feel bad. I get frustrated with myself first, and then if it carries on, then I start to get frustrated.
and then you get frustrated with Taylor, and then you feel less frustrated with yourself, and so it's fine.
So really, I'm just making you transfer the frustration onto me. I will bear the burden of your frustration, so you become less frustrated with yourself. Oh, but as far as I can tell,
I mean,
I'm
and
sorry
all
for
is-
not being a good enough friend, Taylor, and not supporting
not
you
what's-
at this difficult time.
God! Just stop! Stop escalating this! Jeez!
See, it's funny though, because we have a role reversal right now. Because normally it's Sarah stepping in after Pete and I have been like doing little slap fights at each other for 20 minutes.
Slap fights.
There's nothing like that on this gun.
Which tells us that it must have been issued longer ago than that.
Oh, I was
Well,
like wondering if it's it was a replica or.
Well, so I was.
no, I mean it's probably a good shout.
I was more wondering, like, if it is actually Gregson's. Like, we've got
Yeah.
the murder weapon was found at the scene of the crime, but, like, do we know if it was Gregson's? Like, obviously there's Gregson there, and the red hair, wherever that's going to come in. I don't know. Just curious. You'd never shot someone. Sorry, I thought you'd... I think
Believe it or not, most of us haven't.
Well, I've never shot anybody, but I have strangled a man until I watched the life come out of his
Oh
eyes.
Jesus!
I mean, anyway, there was no time to call for the help of the seaman at the door, so I dealt with the man myself.
Pete's face.
What, you've got a problem with seamen now?
now you have to go through that again.
Even though the man had a gun. That was a very brave move, wasn't it?
Have you seen me, son?
My upon Seoi is far
Faster than a bullet?
Wow. All
What
right.
kind of bullets are they using in those guns? We're talking about musket bullets?
I mean, it was like this is supposed to be like sort of quite early days in terms of the sort of the way that these things were built. I mean, perhaps bullets were slower back then, slow enough that you could run past it and do a Ippon Seoi.
No, Jigoku's in the Matrix, dude.
I mean, I think he is just an anime protagonist.
Yeah.
He's just like one of those people who's like,
I can throw a man down to the floor faster than he can shoot me.
So what you're saying is he's actually just the average ordinary high school student.
Oh yeah.
yes.
I got pecs of steel, boy. I can deflect anything with these puppies.
My Ippon Seoi is far faster than a bullet, I can assure you.
But surely all that commotion caused the crewman to come in, didn't it? I'm sorry, the seaman to come in.
Well,
Yes, of course. He burst in immediately without knocking. The inspector hurled himself at the stocky fellow and just managed to slip past him to make his escape.
The outstanding guard does it again.
oh dear.
Luckily, there aren't many situations I can't get myself out of using a quick Ippon Seoi throw.
Okay.
Hold it! The crown... I got my voices mixed up. The crown snapped...
The crown snapped off.
Ooh, what a unfortunate way to go.
Well... The crown snapped off and the glass covering the face of the watch was cracked.
Preferable to the man's head being pulled off or his spine cracking, wouldn't you say?
Oof. Not that the man was spared for long. A bullet to the chest soon saw to that.
Shot through the heart, and you're too late, darling. You give love a bad name.
This is not a karaoke session, Judge Jigoku. We're not in a karaoke bar now. This is serious. But the point is, the broken pocket watch doesn't prove that a murder took place.
Absolutely not! All the watch proves is the power of my jiu-jitsu throw.
Whatever you say, it doesn't quite ring true that no shot was fired in that cabin. Because there was an obvious bullet hole in the wall.
But do you have proof?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's what the star of your lowbrow detective stories told you, is it? Well, I don't care for such fiction. Haven't you worked it out yet, you little stripling? Stripling?
I don't know.
I don't know. I would have thought stripling personally, but I don't know.
No murder took place in my cabin.
We can't prove the bullet hole, can we?
No, we ain't got it.
Dang it.
Hold it! But there's no evidence that proves the victim ever returned to London alive!
Just take a moment to think that idea of yours through now, stripling.
What?
If the inspector was killed on the steamship in France, how on earth could he have got back to Britain?
The freezer.
Freezer and unloaded off with the cargo.
When people die, they are killed. When people die, their bodies remain at that same spot? It's a devil of a thing.
What?
Well, then, obviously the culprit must have moved the body.
How, exactly? Carrying a corpse off a ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think? Unless you're a balding man who's disguised himself as somebody else. Agent 13.
Ah, yes. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
That one.
Sorry, I'm being quiet because I'm trying to think of the mechanics. I'm thinking like, did he like put him in like a big fish or something, or like
A big fish?
No, but I'm like, well, no. I mean, like, you know,
A big fish!
Shut up! If they've got
What we need, alright, what we need, Nash, is we need a big tuna, you know? Alright, big tuna. You see the size of this guy? We just gotta get a really, really, really big tuna. And then we just gotta open his mouth wide, and we stick him in, and then they'll smuggle him off, and they'll be none the wiser. We just got to make sure that we get to the tuna before they start cutting it up to serve it.
I don't know. I'm just because he's saying like, yeah, how it would raise suspicion. So I'm like thinking, well, if he was,
It's gotta come off in cargo.
if he was in the freezer,
Yeah.
and then as you say, he came off in cargo, and they tried not to be suspicious. I mean, assuming that he wasn't just able to leave,
Yeah.
was he? Because my first thought was like in like a side of cow or something, but I'm like, well, it maybe seems a bit weird that they'd have that. Makes more sense they'd have fish because obviously ship, but maybe they've got like red meat as well. I don't know. It was just a thought.
It'd be an ironic end, wouldn't it?
We
He loves fish and
snuck him out
chips
all.
Until he became the fish and chips.
Fish and chips!
It's like his
We
eyes.
snuck him out all quiet like in a fish.
Like a fish.
Like a fish, in a fish.
In a
In a
fish.
fish. You stupid Norbert.
Is there anything? No, there isn't, is there?
I don't know. If you don't say what you're thinking, we won't know.
There's nothing in the autopsy report about the fish, was there? Because Maria said that there was
The fish
some
was
rotten
spoiled.
fish. Yeah.
Yeah. She did say
No,
something
she's
about
only said it
it
to
being in
us.
his pocket.
Yeah. Which means his coat was elsewhere.
But yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
Yes, that's true, but
All passenger luggage is inspected when it is unloaded from arriving vessel.
But is cargo inspected?
And I would like to think the border police would query the corpse of an English,
Scottish.
and by English I mean Scottish, gentleman as hand luggage.
Oh, look at this new purse. It's from Paris.
It's just
Look,
Gregson
it's
just
got-
like,
He's got his little hat and
I'm
everything.
dying! I'm dying! Help me out, you fools!
If the murder had taken place aboard the ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed of at sea. There would be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain.
That's killed the idea then.
But perhaps not.
Miss Susato?
We've heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them.
Yes, we had seamen all over us.
Yes, quite.
Get away
Messy
with it!
Which would mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose of the body in the sea.
Yes, that's true. So transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative.
Dear me, you really are new to this, aren't you?
What?
I thought I'd been perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain it in words you can understand. I think I ought to alter my testimony. With your consent, of course, my lord.
I've already missed my lunch, so I have no objection. State your amended testimony now.
There's no possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain. How about this large fish?
I hate you sometimes, man. It's like, for God's sake.
It's just sorry, it was funny.
Okay, hold
You
Hold it!
wait. You wait. If he was transported in a large fish,
I will
You're
be
gonna-
the first to
you're-
admit
you're
that
gonna
you called
eat.
it.
You're gonna eat your fucking hat, sir.
gavel!
You're gonna eat several hats.
There's an idea.
Think about it, stripling. All passengers and crew disembarked at the same time and passed through the same checks at the border. The symposium guests were then driven straight to the hotel in carriages organized by the Ministry.
And we met you as soon as you arrived at the hotel.
So you did! Well then, remind me. Did I have a corpse over my shoulder at the time?
No, but they did have the luggage.
He didn't. He didn't want them to take his
Actually,
luggage, did he?
his trunk was big enough to hide
Yeah.
him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then, if they're checked, then
What? No.
So we're in agreement then. I couldn't possibly have brought the inspector's body back to Britain. Unless, of course, they developed some clever device these days to instantly move things from A to B.
like an
And then
instantaneous
hair break.
kinesis machine.
And then like hair break.
Hypothesis!
My hypothesis.
Funny you should say that.
There we go!
Professor Hairbrain's invention didn't actually work, if you remember, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, of course.
The defense has become unusually quiet, I notice.
Yes, because there's really nothing more to say.
So that's his story.
Well, I suppose if you think about it, whenever you drop a teacup in the office and it breaks, we don't say, Mr. Naruhodo must have been murdered there, do we?
Is that a veiled threat about what might happen to me if I break another one?
Maybe. And the fact is that Inspector Gregson's body was found in a little room on Fresno Street.
The fact that you're not saying no, that wasn't a veiled threat isn't really comforting me.
Think of it what you will, Mr. Naruhodo. If he really was killed in Judge Jigoku's cabin, the body would have to have
Body
been
would
moved-
have...
Sorry?
It is my line.
It does say
Oh,
it does say
sorry!
this.
I am so sorry.
No, that was Susato's.
Yep.
The body would have to have been moved somehow, obviously. Transporting a dead body over a country border. That would be impossible for the majority of people. So there must have been some special circumstances that made it possible for the culprit then. Like being a foreign dignitary.
It crammed him in his own trunk.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, that couldn't fit a human man in
Yeah, I
there.
guess it's
No,
not,
I'm
yeah, it's
kidding.
not very big.
I was kidding.
Wait a minute. Photograph. Look at this photograph. The trunk.
There's the trunk.
I think we can present that and then
point at
say
the
it was in the trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I suppose, yeah, you're right. With him being sort of a special, maybe it'd be like, you're not searching my trunk. And they'd be like, okay, yeah, nope.
Yep.
Well, not even that. It's just they look up at him slowly and they look up, and he says,
Good
You're not
shout.
going to search my trunk, are you?
no, sir, no.
Yeah.
Come on, quickly.
I said it.
All right, jeez. I was thinking.
That could be a vital realization, I think, Mr. Naruto.
Yeah, good shout, Taylor, yeah. There we go.
So this one, and then.
A photo of
I
them
think
all.
it's the photograph.
Not that one, not that
I
one.
know.
No,
I
not
know.
that one.
Yes!
Oh,
Objection!
Well
done.
done, Taylor.
I was smart for
Yeah.
one time only.
Hashtag
I hope
Sailor
you
is-
all got that on camera.
Well, we've got it on recording, but I also want to say, new hashtag, Taylor is smart.
Oh,
Let's start that
God.
trend, people. Let's start it. Come on. I want to see him in the comments. Now you know how it feels.
Yes, but I'm not smart. You are. There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Gregson's body, you say? I would say the opposite is true.
Because I don't think he wanted them to take his trunk either for him. I think.
Yes,
I
that's
think.
right.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Far from being impossible for you to do. The transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you could do.
What are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
As well as being a judge, Mr. Jigoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs.
So his stuff won't get checked.
Yep.
Yes.
Which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We learnt that when we first met you upon your arrival in London.
Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you?
Oh. Yeah.
I knew you were jealous.
Jealous or suspicious?
I presume you recall this, Judge Jigoku?
Now he's like, oh, damn.
Uh-oh.
It's a photograph we took in the foyer of the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court will note, you have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside.
Mr. Naruto! Surely you're not suggesting...
But what is he suggesting?
Oh, God!
I know, I'm sorry.
If only we didn't spend so much time fooling around.
I know. We're really sorry.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Episode 100.
1,000.
No, I don't think so.
No, that's Persona 5.
Oh, God, yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching, guys. If you do like what we do, then please consider giving us a little like, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified of our video uploads every Wednesday and Saturday. And in the meantime, while you're waiting for the next upload, why not check out our other stuff? There's plenty on there to go through.
And with that, we'll catch you in the next one, everyone.
See you later.
And remember, take good care of the seamen in your life, because they have it very hard.
Okay. Now you die.